Let's also consider some examples of conditional branching statements. Let's assume you have to buy a birthday gift of price between $50 and $100. So the statements would be to first to read the price. Secondly, once the price is read, before you actually buy, you got to check whether the price is between 50 and 100. So there is a condition. So if price is between $50 and 100, only if this condition is true, then you will buy. Hence we say this is a conditional branch. So you do this action of buying only if this condition is true, only if this condition is true. If the condition is false, we do not perform the action of buying. Let's consider another example of conditional branching. Let's assume you want to board a flight, and for domestic flights, normally one can board the flight only if one is checked in for at least 45 minutes in advance. Hence, the condition of boarding is satisfied if the check-in time is before 45 minutes. Hence, we could phrase this as if check-in is before 45 minutes, then allow boarding. Again, the action of boarding is allowed only if the condition check-in before 45 minutes is satisfied. So again, that's why it's conditional branching. Let's consider one more example for conditional branching. Let's assume that to qualify for the Australian Open Tennis Championship, one must be within the 50 or top 50 players in the world, or must have a wild card invitation from the championship authorities. Hence, the action of qualification is satisfied only if the condition is within the top 50 players or has wildcard invitation. So we could state this as if within top 50 or has wild card, then you qualify. So that's the action and that's the condition. Let's also look at some examples of looping statements. Let's assume that a winning lotto number is got by repeatedly picking 9 different numbers. Hence, the action of picking a unique number has to be repeated 9 times. This could be stated as while not picked 9 numbers, pick a new number. So the action of picking a number is repeated as long as this condition is satisfied. So this, but unlike the previous statement wherein this was performed only once, in this case, after doing this action, you have to go back and check whether this condition is satisfied again. As long as it's satisfied, you keep performing this action. Let's consider another example of looping statements. Assume that your weekly shopping chore is not completed until you have bought all items in a shopping list. So you have a shopping list and we say you have not completed the shopping until you've finished all the items in the shopping list. Hence, the action of buying an item off the list is repeated until all the items are bought. So again, we may state this as while shopping list items are not purchased, you have to perform an action of buying an item, by buying an item. So this action gets repeated. So once you perform an action of buying an item, you go back and then check whether you have completed the items, completed buying all the items. If not, you come back and perform this action again, that is, you buy another item. So finally, when you found that you've completed buying all the items in the list, you do not buy again.